listen you. So, yeah.
You can see my slide, right?
Yeah, we can search that.
Okay. Thank you, Rizwanur. So, uh, I'm Rizwan Alam Ansari. I'm from Nepal. I'm here in Bangladesh from last 4 years. I'm leading application team of Tekon Global Bangladesh as well as Nepal. With that, I'm also leading cloud expert groups and SharePoint user group of Nepal. I'm a certified Scrum Master, certified Product Owner, certified Microsoft Certified Professional, Microsoft Certified Technology Specialist in .NET Framework, .NET Framework 4, 3.5, Application Development Foundation, as well as database development, and with some MTS certificates. In this session, we will be discussing about SharePoint. Brief introduction with its features, and then we will discuss about its classic to modern experience. Then we will explore some migration tools that we have, and then again we will see the development option for coder, and then again we will see SharePoint with Power Platform. What are the features or what are the things we can do with platform? And then we will do hands-on with real-world solutions using AI Builder, Power Apps, and Power Automate. SharePoint is a cloud-based solution, a part of Microsoft 365 that helps our organization to organize its content, document it, knowledge forum. You can empower your team to collaborate together. You can quickly find the information, seamlessly collaboration across the organization. Initially, it was launched in 2001, and the primary goal was to maintain the document and for the storage system. But version to version, now we are in 2019 SharePoint or SharePoint Online. So through number of version, each has added so many features, number of new add-ins, new features are there. With that, it is highly customizable, configurable, and can be used for lots of applications. Let's see its features high level. Like first thing is when we talk about SharePoint, collaboration is the first thing we talk about. So your employee or internal collaboration you can do by building intranet portal for your organization. You can have a social blogs, wikis, or meeting through community portals. You can have a Yammer, or you can have even multiple employees can work on the same file at the same time. Even you can include your third-party collaboration like your vendors, suppliers, or customers to work with you. And then again we discuss another like if we say SharePoint, another feature is content management. So content means content and document both. So you have a document library for this one. Even this is digital asset libraries, form libraries, easy file sharing, checking, checkout, versioning, retention, lots of features are there. Then you have a search, enterprise search for documents and data based on metadata. Auto indexing option you have. You can search even from the data inside the file. You can customize your search, or you can exclude something you don't want to bring in your search. The best features you have is a business process automation, where you can automate your manual or day-to-day activities, bring into digital and automate it. Then business intelligence, manage your organizational goal, performance through BI features for Excel service, Visio service, dashboard, data cubes, client tools, many more. You can use SharePoint as a knowledge management forum, or you can. We have also SharePoint itself has a project management template. You can use that one. It can be used as a unified communication platform. So few are the things I have highlighted, like quick things what you can do with SharePoint. So first thing, like you can build an intelligent intranet portal. You can customize it, brand it. In the next slide I will show you what are the things you can do it, and what are the customization you can do in the portal design or branding. There are several out of the box apps are available, like document library, form library, polls and survey, even discussion board. So those all are built-in apps. You can just add it and use it in your portal. Document and content management, you can organize your content document, you can properly manage it. There is option for auto versioning, right management standard, You can standard policies applied to those documents based on your company policies. You can apply on those libraries and content. Even you can have a metadata for each kind of document, search capabilities, archiving, or you can manage auto archiving, retention policy, manage document lifecycle, apply workflow. You can enable notification, alerts, or schedule reminders. And then you can have a blogging, community, or discussion board. Then you can add news, announcement, events, calendar activities in your portals. Like circular, policies, highlights are the other web parts that you can add. Some of the interactive web part you can add, like employee of the month, value champ, people library, poll, survey, knowledge forum, feedback forum, support forum. You can manage your support system there. You can have your associates ask the question management. So there are many more other interactive web parts you can build on the top of SharePoint. And those all are already available, just you need to plug and configure it. In terms of solution, you can develop many process automation or workflow like IT process, IT or access request, IT requisition, workstation approval. You can automate your HR process like travel plan, claim settlement, purchase request, employee transfer, bill or approval system requisition, internal requisition. And then again you can build a complex enterprise application as well, like support or incident management, contract management system. Now classic to modern experience. So Peter, I'd like to show you what modern UI looks like. This is one portal you have. This portal you can see, this is a SharePoint. By default, the portals.
Hi, Rizwan. I just want to inform you something.
Yes.
Your slide and your voice are actually not matching. Your slide is actually you actually have to wait 10 to 15 seconds because it's loading from attendee side.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So now which screen you can see, like one restart development, right?
From attendee side, it's actually loading in the solutions slide.
No, from your side, bro.
Oh, from my side, it's I can see it in the SharePoint portal. Yeah.
Yes.
But
okay.
in the attendee side, the attendees can see the solutions part.
So that's okay, because when I will speak, they will get few seconds later. So that is okay.
Okay. Good.
So this is the portal you have. This is the default portal of SharePoint. You can see this is the modern one. And now you can change this portal to this. This is the, you can see same SharePoint portal it is. You have all the things, you can see the UI. You have all the components, you can see news, you can publish your documents, you can see lots of other features are there. Documents are there, recent sites you have visited, the design or the things you can see. These all are already available in SharePoint. You don't need to go and build this kind of web parts for your solution or this kind of portal. This is already available in SharePoint, just you need to plug in and use it. You can see the navigation which is now already available in SharePoint Modern Experience. Similarly, I want to show you another one portal. This is also one portal, that is a team portal. This is also, you can see content are rich, documents are there. Then even you can include your team here, team communication you can do from portal itself. So these are the modern experience you have. Now let me go back to my slide. So lots of new features has been added in this modern experience, and this modern experience is a result of rapid development and building with the UX in the mind. You can have a personalized experience. You can use this as a software as a service. Then you will be you have a communication site that broadly use attractive site pages is a key features of organization intranet. For example, you might have a HR department. The homepage that serve of the important communication to hundreds or thousands of the employees. In modern experience, the communication site can fulfill the same purpose as the traditional publishing site, to commence broadly to the large audience while remaining the level of control and creation side. Many threshold limitation has been removed. Content database limitation has been removed. SharePoint has already introduced a new option called SharePoint Hub site that enable you to organize your associated multiple team site or communication site together. That is also known as Microsoft Hubs. With Hubs, you can have a similar kind of fields, look, navigation across the associated site. So traditionally, it was costly and time consuming to build an intranet portal. However, with the new, you have all the components are ready-made. You just need to plug and customize it. Now, SharePoint migration tool. So since we discussed about SharePoint new versions are coming. So there is options like you can migrate it from there, or even you can migrate from your other cloud services. So SharePoint Migration Manager is available in the admin center. The Migration Manager provides a centralized way of connecting servers, creating tasks, automatically distribute your migration related tasks. SharePoint migration tools that you can migrate your SharePoint on-premises document libraries, lists, or regular file shares. Then you can use Mover. Mover is now required by Microsoft, so that is used for cloud-to-cloud migration from Box, Dropbox, Google, or Amazon, or Office 365 tenant-to-tenant migration. Then there is another option, Microsoft Fast Track, that will help you to do the startup planning for your migration. Then Azure Data Box is there. Like if you have a terabytes of data, then those you can actually transfer into the Azure component. From there you can shift it to the SharePoint. And similarly, you have SharePoint assessment tools that will assess your SharePoint servers to know what are the issues or problems you have prior to migration. Then you can use OneDrive sync option, or there is also called PowerShell. With PowerShell, you can also migrate the data. Now, SharePoint development option, especially for the coder. Now, for the coder, there is a SharePoint framework. That framework will help you to develop a custom solutions on top of SharePoint. You can use a client-side object model, so you can use all the popular client-side framework like Angular or React. Then there is another option, JavaScript injection. So JavaScript injection, you can inject your JavaScript through the page or through the component, and you can customize those component or page. You can manipulate it or apply the permissions or apply the settings. Then SharePoint add-in, that is called app model. So we have a two options here, SharePoint hosted and SharePoint provider hosted. SharePoint hosted is also a client-side solutions, like you can build a solution on top of SharePoint using client-side technologies. There also is similar like a framework, SharePoint framework, so you can use your Angular, React.js, even plain JavaScript. Now SharePoint provider hosted, this is another one like big change, or you can say big things that SharePoint developers can have. Like you can develop any kind of solution on top of this provider hosted, because you have a full rights to use your server side technologies. You can use it, you can connect with SharePoint, you can connect with another servers, or you can write whatever the codes you want. That is, you can write .NET codes or other codes easily there, and you can follow the framework you want. There you have another last one is, I will say, SharePoint server-side solution that is available only on-premises, which I don't recommend. So there is also option you can write server-side solutions for the on-premises using those options. Now I would like to hand over my session to Satya Karki. She will continue her part. Thank you.
Thank you, Rizwan. Hello everyone. Greetings, I am Satya Karki. I work as a senior software engineer in Tech1 Global, which is a multinational company. I lead the community Visual Studio .NET Girl and Cloud Expert group. I am Microsoft certified professional, Microsoft certified technology specialist, and Microsoft technology associate. I have more than 9 years of professional experience in Microsoft technology. Today's session, I will be continuing from the brief introduction of Microsoft Power Platform. Basically, Microsoft Power Platform includes the four components, that is the Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agent. Power Apps is an approach to build custom applications quickly without code. Using Microsoft Power Apps, we can develop mobile-friendly apps without code knowledge within short time and reduce stress on developers or IT teams. Applications built from Power Apps can connect data to and from business applications, for example, Dynamics 365, Office 365, and also third-party applications. Power Apps can be used to create custom forms for use in modern SharePoint site. It can be used as a custom SharePoint list form. It can be used as a SharePoint list view. It can be used as a standalone app that uses a SharePoint as its data source. And we can embed our Power Apps form in a modern SharePoint page using the Power Apps web part. Power Automate is formerly known as Microsoft Flow. It allows us to create automated workflows between Microsoft services or third-party applications. It consists of pre-built automation templates for common automation process. Its automation process can connect various applications such as SharePoint, Outlook, Dynamics 365, and also non-Microsoft applications. We can set up triggers, alert, automated emails, push notifications, and much more without coding within minutes. In SharePoint, we can use Power Automate for workflows and to automate business processes. Power BI is an analytical tool for data which has capability to connect to various data sources, visualize data, and helps to gain business intelligence. It can connect with on-premises data sources as well as Microsoft and third-party cloud services to generate dashboard reports and provides business intelligence for end users and management. We can develop dashboard and reports using Power BI Desktop and publish in Power BI. Then we can integrate Power BI reports and dashboard with SharePoint through embedded URL. Power Virtual Agent is a platform to create your own chatbot. Power Virtual Agent empowers teams to easily create powerful chatbots using a guided graphical interface with no code as well as without the involvement of data scientists or developers. It addresses many of the major issues with bot building in the industry. In short, all this platform has drag and drop, easy user-friendly tools to build applications, automate processes, graphical dashboard and report design, and custom chatbot development. Today, now it's time for the practical demo. Today's demo includes the invoice process automation. In this demo, firstly, we will create custom form using Power Apps. Secondly, auto tag and extract data from invoice using AI Builder. Then user will categorize invoice and dynamic approval process will start. Finally, after the approval response, it will capture approval history with necessary details. This is our SharePoint demo site. Here I am going to add document library. So here I am going to add a few fields. For example, invoice for invoice number, invoice date, invoice from, invoice amount, This is our document library. From here we can customize this document library using the Power Apps. So I'm going to show how we can do this. Now our Power Apps Studio is opening. This is the another document library that we have already developed for today's session. And we have already customized this document library using the Power Apps. Here we have written some logic so that the user cannot edit and update the information like the requester detail, approval detail, requester name. Those things he or she cannot edit and update. We have written some logic because it will come from the system directly. So here our Power Apps Studio is open. By default, some fields from our recently developed created document library are loaded. If we want to add more fields, so we can go here and type and add. If we want to customize the properties of any field, we can select. We can unlock it and we can change the properties from here. This area contains the property changes and the customizations of the field. If we want to insert the new fields, here are the things we can go and insert. We can add a new screen, label, buttons, text, text inputs, forms, media, charts, anything we can insert from here. In Power Apps, everything is available. If we want to add a new screen, we can add. I am going to add a new screen. And also we can connect to the data sources. I am selecting the recent document library. If we want to connect to the different data sources, here are the connectors. We can go and connect to the other data sources. There are lots of the options so that we can get the data and push our application data to there from here by connecting through these connectors. We can use the entities also. If we want to write some logics for these fields, here from here we can go and we can write. For example, for this form, in this form, we have written some logic to disable the fields. So I am going to show how we can write the logic here. So for this requester detail, this we have disabled. For we can go and write the necessary properties from here. For this field, we have disabled this, based on these conditions. So when the request is approved or rejected, this field will be disabled so that user cannot insert and update this one. So in Power Apps, there are already built-in methods and the functions are available that we can use and customize our form. In today's demo, we have used the AI Builder, which help us to intelligently process our automation process. So I am going to for that. With AI Builder, we can add intelligence to our applications. There are several options to use AI. For this case, we are using AI to extract data from invoice intelligently. Here is a AI Builder. I am going to add AI Builder. For our case, we are extracting the data from invoice documents, so we need a form processing. So I am going to use form processing. And we have to upload the 5 documents. Now we have to provide the fields. Invoice name. Invoice number, invoice for, invoice from, invoice amount. These five informations we will extract from our document invoice. So we'll use that fields for the document tagging. Now I'm going to upload the documents to train our model. Documents are uploading. Now it's analyzing the documents. It's doing the OCR of the documents. This may take a few minutes. We have to wait for that.
Hi, Satya, Rizwan. I have a question regarding this. Okay, may I continue? Yeah.
Yes.
So my question is that is there any way to move Teams data in Teams chat to one tenant to another tenant?
Teams chat data, right?
Yeah, like I have a tenant. I have a free tenant. Okay, so I am using this tenant from last 1 year. So I have lots of chat history in my tenant. So if I buy a new tenant, or if I create a new tenant, is it possible to move all the data from one tenant to another?
About the team, I'm not exactly sure, but SharePoint data you can migrate it easily. But if you have a data that, let's say in Teams, whichever the channel we created, in the backend it creates another SharePoint site collection, right? So that site collection data you can move to one tenant to another tenant.
Okay. Or one-to-one chat, is it possible? Do you know that?
One-to-one chat, I'm not sure, but I think there can be some option with Power Automate. Like you can automate, like whenever you are doing chat and you want to automate that with some another technologies or another tools, then you can do that one.
Okay.
But I'm not exactly sure about that one. I can get back to you on this.
Thank you so much, Rizwan.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
Usually it doesn't take this much time, but now it's taking. Let's wait.
Let me check.
We have another AI builder that we have already developed. We can go and check that one also. After uploading documents, we have to go auto tag the documents area, which area contains the what informations. After that, our model will be ready. Here is another model that we have already developed. I will go and show how we can test our model. After training the model, we can test, and we have to go from here, quick test. We can upload the documents. Now after the upload, it is testing this document. Now we can see this is a invoice from, and this is invoice for, this is invoice amount, and this is invoice date, this is invoice number.
You can refresh it.
Rizwan, we have a question in our bin in the publish window. Can you please check it out for me?
Let me check it. Publish window. Okay. Suppose I am implementing SharePoint in organization. So let's say 1 or 2 device inside the organization is weak in configuration. Are the devices going to miss out the certain features? Thank you for your question, Mr. Asiful Zaman. So this SharePoint is a cloud-based application. It runs on the browser. So it doesn't depend upon the your device configuration unless you have the modern browser in that device. And if you are using on-premises also SharePoint you cannot install in the PC. For that you need a server. So you need to install SharePoint into one server, and user will be able to access it through browser. I hope I answered your question.
Yep, hopefully this is the answer, but if you have any other question, he will definitely put it in the QA.
Taking time, so I'm again going and start from the beginning. Now again it's analyzing the document and doing the share. Okay, now also it's taking time. After analyzing, we have to auto tag the documents area, and we have to train the model. After that, we can test that I have already demonstrated. So remaining part of the demonstration, I would like to hand over to Rijan. Rijan, please.
Thank you. So let me go back to my library. So this is the library I'm using here. So in this library you can see I have a few columns like invoice from, invoice for, invoice number, invoice date, and invoice amount. So these data I will extract from the document itself using AI Builder and form processing AI component. And then I have some 4 more columns like approver status to maintain whether the request, the document has been approved by approver or not. And there is a file number. This file number I'm generating automatic or unique number for each file. Then there is a category like each of this document will be categorized. Based on the category, the requester or means approver will be defined. So I have another list that I maintain the approvers. Like for sales, one approver has been defined. For utilities, one approver has been defined. So for each kind of category, I have defined the approver. Now there are few columns that I have kept for the like audit logs, like who is the requester, his details, because time to time the requester designation department gets changed. So I want to capture the requester details when the request was created at the time, and then also the approver details, and then all the approver history, like when the request is submitted, when it was approved, and approval response. Now I'm still not sure this analyzing, so let me go to the flows, my flows. So to automate here, what you can do, you can go to Power Automate, see all the flows. Now let me show you some more options we have here. Now I have applied some more other features here, like when this request, this file is uploaded initially, the data will be extracted from the document itself and file number will be generated. Then he need to choose the category. Based on that, this request will flow. So let me show you my flow. Here is my flow I have already developed for this particular solution. So when you will open your flow, you can see a dashboard like this, how many connections you have used, how many runs has been done on this flow, what are the histories, how many fails or approves. You can save it, or you can share, you can even make a copy of this one, or you can turn off. Turn off means it will just disable for the moment. Now let me edit this flow. So I have choose a component like when we go for any kind of flow. Let me go to home page. So already lots of templates are available for the flow, like you can pick any of the templates related with remote topics, remote emails, notification, cloud save, like you can save your content to another cloud. Approvals related, many components are there, like start the approval when new item is added, request manager approval, send response from. These all templates are already available. You can plug and you can start your flow on top of that one. In my case, I choose a connector when a file is created or modified of the properties. So whenever we upload any file into a library, the sum of the properties will be created in the library, and when somebody change anything, the properties will be modified. So when this two incident will happen, my flow will start automatically. Then I have defined one variable, that is get approver. This is a variable I used so that I can select the approver from another list based on the document invoice category. Then I have used some condition here, like this flow will run two conditions. One is, first is it will extract the data. In second times when it runs, based on when the data is extracted and document invoice it categorized, then it will go to another option. So I have used a condition, if the category is blank or null, then I'm getting the file. Like I have used my SharePoint link here. Then I have used invoice library and the file content which I got from here. Then I pass this 5 condition, like when the request is submitted. Again, I don't want to extract the data every time. I want to extract data only one time the request is submitted for the first time. Then I checked another condition, if the request is not submitted, then it will go here. It will process the file using our AI Builder, the model I have, which we build using AI Builder. With that model, the file format, and then we need to pass the file, the content. Then once it goes, if I goes to next step, I'll get the return of that AI. So I'm again selecting my data properties and updating with all the extracted AI that I get return from AI Builder. So I'm updating like for invoice from, for, number, date, amount. Let me show you this part. Like if I upload a file, let me choose one invoice, MS invoice. So my invoice is uploaded. So let me go to flow, my flows. So here you can see all your runs. So you can refresh it. Maybe the flow is started running. So first phase, what it does, it will just extract the data. It will update into the properties, and it will change the status into submitted, and history will be captured who updated this document in which date and submitted by. Now let me check again whether the flow is started. Now my flow is running. So let it finish. You can see I even did not refresh my page, but my data are extracted. So this is also one feature of SharePoint, like it seamlessly update your content. So now once my file is uploaded, the data extract, I got all this data from the form itself. So this is an automated process, like we are using an AI builder just to extract the data. So from the file I got from this, so I can open the file and check whether those fields are there or not. So this is a PDF file. Based on PDF file, it extracted this information that I need using AI builder. So all this information I got here, and a status is changed into submitted. Unique number has been generated. Requester and requester details is captured, and approval history is there. But at this moment, my approver is not defined. So let me again go back to my list. So this part of the flow has been completed. Now let me just save it, go to the next part. When the request is not submitted, this part completed. Now once I update the category of the document location, it will go to no condition. Then because when I will show this document, let me now change it. Okay, edit it. So all these fields are editable to me. Let's say this is MS invoice. Now if the any extraction is incorrect, you have again chance to recorrect it. Since we are using AI, so there is chances sometimes it may give you some inaccurate some cases, or some accuracy can be, some number can be different. Now rest of the fields has been disabled because those fields I want to capture automatically based on the user response. Now I just categorize this document as a utility, save it. Now my category is utility, so let me go to this one. So it will go to no condition because this is not null or blank. Let me open flow. So in this flow, what I am checking if the approval is now submitted, because I don't want to again run this again and again. So when it is submitted status, it will find, it will get the approver from another approver list. So I have applied my site, and then I have used approver list, and then I have used a query filter, like when title equal to category. So I don't need all the approvers, I need the approvers which has this category. So based on my based on utility, it will select Satya Kaki. And then for each of this, I'm updating my, I'm setting that approver into one variable, the variable I defined earlier. Then I'm changing the status, like previously it was submitted. Once the request get approvers, then I'm changing status into in progress. I'm updating approver name, and then I'm starting start and wait approval process. In that case, my request has been sent to for approval to the approvers. So with that, I am sending the title name I have included dynamically. Then I am sending in email some requester details, who created this invoice, who invoices from whom, what is the invoice number, what is the invoice amount, and link to the item, so that approvers, when he get the email for approver, he can check the invoice as well as these details. So once this started, this time my status is in progress. Now let me check again my demo list. It is in progress. It means my request is already sent up to the approver for approving. Now that at that point, you can see my approver is already updated in the list. So now let me open this request through approvers. So what I am using, start and wait. So this action will wait until the approver give a response. So if you have a multiple approvers, you have an option. You can give a start like approve and reject for everyone, or if anyone among them responds, then you can go for next level. Now let me go to next level. So next level, the approver can have a two action, like either he can approve the request invoice or he can reject the invoice. So based on approve and reject, I am again updating my list, SharePoint library properties with status. So if it is approved, the outcome is equal to approve, then I'm updating the response and I'm putting previous history as well as I'm putting approved by, approval history, approval details here. Now in case if it is rejected, in case if it is wait, let me go back to my screen. Okay. In case if it is rejected, what again I'm doing, I'm updating the response with rejected status and rejected, and I'm also putting the comment so that we can know why he has rejected. So let me show you with Satya Karke. I'm already logged in another browser with Satya Karke. So see, the approver will get an email notification for approver. So details is there, invoice for MS invoice, the invoice name, and who is the requester, when this approval has been created, link to the document, so that as an approver I can view the document of invoice, I can check it. Then with that, some extracted data that we used AI builder, like invoice from Microsoft, invoice number, invoice amount. Now he can take his action, he can approve it, keeping the comment, or he can reject it. So let me check with approve one. This can be selected. Finance. So from finance, he can go and collect this bill. So I'm submitting. Once I give my response, again my application will automatically run this. It is already approved, you can see. Let me refresh it. Demo 1. Request is already approved, you can see. Now I can see the details as well, who approved, when approved, and approval history is also captured. Now earlier I was able to edit some properties. Now if I go and edit the properties, I'm only able to edit the title, but rest the informations are locked, which we used Power Apps configuration. So all these histories are also here, like when this request was submitted, approved by whom, what was his comment, all these details. So this is how we can complete one complete solution we build. So what are the things we did here? We created a custom forms for this library properties. Once somebody uploaded the file, automatically we are extracting the data from the form using AI. And automatically then requester has an option to choose which category of file this is. Once he chooses the category, automatically approver will be assigned for this invoice and he will get email approval options. Once he approved from the email itself, again the data will be updated in the list itself. So if you see the manual process, what we have we have automate here, you just need to upload one document and you need to choose the category of document. Based on that, everything is done automatically using the Power Platform. So we are using AI Builder as well as Power Apps and Power Automate. So that's how this application it is. So we use one simple use case like invoice approval automation, which where we did approval of invoice, we extract the data as well as for auto tagging. Now there is some more things interesting in this document library. Like these are the options you can see. Like you can filter from here itself. You can filter from like approved, reject, request based on category, based on other options. So these are some modern experience you have, like you will be getting with this one. And another thing, this Power Platform. So Power Platform, if you utilize it for SharePoint, you can do lots of approval or lots of manual process that you can digitize and automate it with a small effort. And all this, the solution today I showed, I have not used a single line of code any of this solution. What we did, we just used the Power Platform. We take the advantage of that one. We added some configuration, we wrote some rules, and that's how we completed one complete applications. So this is what we can do in SharePoint using Power Platform. Even we can integrate this platform with SharePoint, and we can integrate this into Team as well. So you will be able to submit the document, upload the document. You can do the activities through Team as well. So thank you for this session. Thank you, and thank you everyone. If you have any questions, please do let us know.
Hi Rizwan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see lots of questions for you, man.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so first question is that can I install SharePoint to any kind of server?
Not any kind of server, like based on the version already Microsoft has given one standard, like for this kind of SharePoint version you need this server specification. For 19 you need a latest kind of server, and you can use a Windows server. Another question is, during the training AI system you used 5 documents PNG. Is there any minimum number of documents? Okay, so AI builder that we are using here for form processing, what we do first, we need to train our AI that which data need to extract from the document. For that Microsoft has like this has given minimum you have to upload 5 documents so that your accuracy will be high. Like here, if I go AI builder, I can show you quickly. Okay, so if we go to form processing, there are some examples like this kind of invoice you can extract this one, and some best practices are there. So you need to use this form as data extraction from the form which when the form is of similar type, like when your form are similar type and those are containing mostly, like you can extract the content having image, you need to remove
same format of data.
same format of data will be extracted. So these are some best practices you can see even in the Power Automate itself. Now another one question is there, do I need to think about before designing my first slide? What do I need to think about before designing my first slide? Okay, first slide means maybe it is talking about first Power Apps form. So first thing, if you want to start with this one, you just need to build one user case, like which case and what are the things you want to do with that app. So based on that you can start building up. Okay, another question is, what do I need to think before I design my first slide? Again, same question. Can I make my own AI builder in SharePoint, or I can use only the, okay. So you have an option, you can build the AI builder that is available here itself. Even still there is option you can build your own AI. You don't need to use only the AI that is available in the AI builder itself. You can use another AI builder, you can create a connector for that one, and you can use that connector in the Power Automate. What's the benefit of having SharePoint managed in cloud? So this answer I can give so many answers, like benefit of having SharePoint managed in cloud. So let me go to my first, not first, like the slide where I have given the features. Okay, so you can have a collaboration platform in your SharePoint. So you have you can design your internet portal for your organization. You can have a file server, you can store your files, you can manage your files. The files, it doesn't only manage the files, you have easy sharing option, you can share in a one click. Then you have a checkout option, file versioning is there, document policy, you can say auto archiving, retention policy you can give, and then you have a search, enterprise search options. Then you can automate the business process like the one I did. This is a simple example, but with that you can build a complex application as well. You have option to use all the Power Platform options. Then you have option to integrate with Teams. You have option to there is a project management template as well. So there are many features, and you know the all of these things comes. You don't need to write a complex coding for this one. These all are just you need to do customization. But also there is a space, or there is a dimension, like if coders are there, they have also lots of option for coder as well. This is the options you have available for coders.
All right, we have a last question.
Yeah, there is also, yeah.
Our example, your example form is clean PDF. As
Okay.
I understand, it is system generated. Will it be able to read scanned document manually, which are not that much clear?
Okay, so it will be able to read that scan document itself. That's why AI Builder give one option for training as well. So what happened if you have a that I use clear PDF? That's obviously because I'm doing this. I just downloaded sample from one. But if you have the scan document which are not clear, use that document for training the model. Then in that case your accuracy will be high.
All right, so I cannot see any new questions there.
Okay.
I cannot see any question there. If any question, please guys put it in the live QA part so that we can approve it and this one can answer it as well.
So anyway, if anybody has any question, if somebody want to do practicals or somebody want to learn it more, you can directly reach me through the my contact is here. I can help them even building and doing some real solutions. All right. So thank you so much, and thank you for giving this platform for sharing our knowledge.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you so much, Rizwan. Thank you, Rizwan and Satya, and yes. Thank you so much, attendees, to ask you question, and yes, maybe we already covered maybe all of the questions that you asked, and we are going to take a small break for 20 minutes, and then we have two more speakers here. One is Nandip Nachan and another is Prashant. So they are also Microsoft MVP, and they will discuss with you guys about Microsoft Teams development and Microsoft SharePoint development as well. And we are going to take a 20 minutes break. But if you have any question, I am here available for you guys. You can discuss with me, or you can just share with me your insight, your feedback, your suggestion, everything. So I am here for you guys. And,
Okay,
and if you want to take, yes.
Rizwan, can I take a minute?
Yeah, sure, please. Yeah.
Okay, one question I missed. That's one I was going through the question. Do you have a change management process to advocate to improve the user adoption? So actually, change management process, I could not understand it clearly, but whoever, thank you for this question. Change management. So whatever the business requirement you have for change management, that required a kind of details. With that, you can use that, and you can build the solutions on top of SharePoint. SharePoint has huge capabilities. Like the slide today I showed only for the 45 minutes, it covered whatever I have to do. I did within 45 hours.